She loves me. She loves me now. She loves me. She loves me now. She loves me. She loves me now. Strayheart became Collective Heads, became 2,000 Rooms.
Yeah.
There's some colon blood.
Yeah, why not?
People do it.
I know, people do.
Hey, Robbie, would you hit the PA?
Ooh,
I don't think anybody touched it, so if you just turn it on, it might be live.
I was probably about a 19-year-old chump when I first met up with Strayheart, and I actually answered an ad that Craig Martin, the keyboard player, had put out. Actually, the band had it out, but Craig Martin kind of interviewed me and put me through the strings and all that good stuff. Made sure I could play. Made sure I didn't just talk a good talk on the phone and not be able to play. So I met up with him, and we went over stuff a couple times and came down and got together with the band. As far as musical influences go and what did I bring to the band, I think the band was doing a lot of more rock type of stuff whenever I came in, and we've always been like a rock, but also the band has always had groove to it. It wasn't always a band that just played just a straight ahead rock. So being that it had the groove is what excited me about the project.
That's a line that always seems to come through, yeah, yeah. How was I to know what already? We used that one on you. Stay on the ball, clock in the hall. Still you get by. Cool. I'll be a little late. Yo, give me a second chance. I'll
Ministry.
Psychedelic
and,
Furs.
Yeah, and bands like that, and it all seemed like clicking that same era of, just pop, pop with a hard edge and just simplicity, and just went out and played our heart out. And work with each other like that has just been an awesome opportunity, and to be here 25 years later, sitting here with the members together is just really a touching time, and it's a great honor and a privilege to be able to strike the next chord.
ran away, the one that gave you all those smiles and confidence. Whatever happened to your pretty little girlfriend?
But he could teach me how to play like Elton John and rock and roll and jazz and all of that stuff, but that wasn't meant to be. But anyway, so Elton John is the one piano player that influenced my playing and got me on the right track to learning how to play. And then, I don't know. Yeah, like you said, just listening to the music of the time is kind of how I went about learning how to write parts for songs.
Who's gonna break the silence? Tell me loudly. Who's gonna break the silence?
Has it been since you guys played together?
This particular group of people, probably 1987, I think, 88. So,
Wow.
23 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah, they started in the early 80s. So the Strayheart group it's been even longer than that. It's been probably close to 30 years now.
And our love will never die. I wonder how many men have sung these words before me. An easy way out, the easy way out, it's the easy way out. Who is gonna break the silence? Tell me. Who is gonna break the silence?
Basically, musically, my training in youth was up in Santa Cruz County, and primarily a jazz background, but played a lot of rock and roll, a lot of blues. Did a lot of private instruction. Ended up going to PIT and graduating there in the early '80s. Did some studying with Greg Bissonette and Shelly Mann.
Oh, greatness and ed. Oh, you studied with Greg. Wow.
Yeah, and Tom Breckline, some other really heavy guys. And then moved back up to Santa Cruz and joined these guys.
When I first auditioned for this band, and I too, this band brought me to that next level, right? I mean, I was ecstatic when I got in this band. I mean, it was like, oh my gosh, couldn't believe it. And I just wanted to say that I've always believed in Keith's ability and his songwriting, and it was truly about, I mean, we joke about the good times and this and the messing around, but it was all about the music. And wow, the music, the songwriting, it was just incredible. And I've always just been so proud to be a part of that, you know. And
You're my fan?
I got totally jazzed a couple months ago when I started re-listening to these tunes. A lot of these tunes I didn't have. You know, I haven't had for the last 30 years. And all of a sudden I have copies of these tunes and I start listening to them. And it just brings back all these memories and you're thinking, oh my God, these tunes were fantastic. So I was totally stoked to relearn these tunes. And even last night practicing the tunes with the guys again for the first time after 30 years, it was magic. It was just tremendous.
It really, really is magic.
The
I love you,
tunes.
baby. I love you. All right.
Love it too.
And we're out.
She left me here. Seemed far away.
For me, when I started playing in this band, it was really like my kind of graduation into, I mean, I was immediately on the road in LA showcasing for record labels within like a week of joining this band. So that was like my, all right, I better ditch the parachute pants and dress like a pro. And right, Craig? Well, I'm not joking about
Greg
that.
never ditched the parachute. We had to steal him.
Hooked up with these guys through a friend. Lita Hope actually introduced me to you guys. Came out, saw you guys at the Catalyst as Collective Hands, and we just hit it off. I mean, it was just, you know, merging some of the electronic stuff I did to Keith's, you know, writing, Rob and Craig's writing. It all blended. We had some great times, and it was a top ramen tour. I mean, we were
Yeah, literally.
we were I mean, just scraping it.
Starts with a kiss. All starts with a kiss. But how am I to accomplish this with you, with you?
Speaking of Strayheart, going back to the beginning there, I was just a fan. I remember going out and sneaking into clubs before I was old enough, actually, to see the band, and was just a major fan. I was always, you know, back in the day, I was always the hard rocker, but here was this kind of cutting edge, new band. You know, the drummers, the first time I ever saw Simmons drums in person, you know, not on MTV, and I just thought they were very, very cool. And Keith, Craig calling me, giving me the opportunity to participate in this, I was thrilled. It was a lot of fun. You know, not only do I get to hear these songs again, I got to learn them and play them.
We still try. Sometimes I feel so close to you. There's nothing we can't do now. Just me and you. And we both cry. But we still try. Yeah, we do. All night.
So, how is it getting back together with everybody?
Well,
what is it?
it's wonderful. It's wonderful because, as I said in the circle, it means that the music has not died. It's still alive and well, and it's still alive and well in all our hearts and our minds. And I can't explain everything I'm feeling right now because there are memories rushing back by the minute.
This is kind of like a road manager, and I drove him around. For 2 years, I lived with him on the road, and I drove him everywhere, and you know, helped get meals whichever way we could.
Oh, so you get to know what it's like being on the road.
I was with them for 2 years in Santa Cruz with Carol McDermott, and we went, all over.
All I ever want is you. Sometimes we're up, we're down. It's worth the love I found in you.
We blew off bands that were much more famous, made much more money, but the passion was here, and people felt it. People felt it, and as you've heard and seen tonight, it is still very much alive.
I came 1,700 miles by car for this, and what a thrill. We were very proud of the bands. I was always proud to be a member of the group with all the guys, and there's plenty more stories, trust me. Writing the parts for the songs with Keith and Jimmy and Craig and Bill Morris and Keith and everyone that was involved. It's just been an unforgettable experience for me for my entire life, and I've just enjoyed it immensely. Tonight was the grand finale, something I'll never forget. So.
If they ever do it again, will you come?
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Ooh, baby's growing up too fast. And how can I make her see? Make it last, yeah.
So we were at 2 o'clock in the morning and we're going to an after-hours party, and I was driving Keith, and I had a little Fiat X19, which is a very small car, and just not very sensible for an Alaska winter, but I was 19, so it didn't really matter to me. And we're driving and we're following people to this party, and we're driving down this road, and I thought people were going a little too fast, so I took my foot off the gas, and that prompted the car to start to spin donuts in the middle of the subdivision. And so we just had this like 30 seconds where we're just kind of looking at each other as the car's spinning and everybody's life is flashing before their eyes, and that's when the magic started, I think. Them together and playing live again. It's just, it was really magical tonight to see them all back, and it's like nobody lost a step. Really great time.
Wow, and so in a way, like, you guys met through music.
Absolutely. I got the golden ticket, I got to marry the rock star. So, I mean...
You know, there's one thing I've been wanting to tell all y'all all night long. And I've been waiting a long time to tell y'all this. It's just a couple simple little words. Just a couple little simple words, but they're very powerful. They're very, very, very powerful. Let me see if I can get the gumption to say this without choking up. I'll say it, but you gotta stay with me. You gotta shake and wiggle it, all right? All right? All right? Here we go. We are Strayheart! Put out the lights, we snuggle together. Eyes glued to the screen. My heart, my mind racing 1,000 miles an hour. Love's not as smooth as it seems about.
We played about 3 years straight, and we played a lot. You know, we used to rehearse 3 nights a week, maybe sometimes 4. And so I was down there all the time. It was like a second home. And Keith introduced me to a lot. He totally changed my taste in music, my whole sensibility about music, and turned me on to a whole universe of, you know, the kind of Britpop.
They say that paradise is yours. We'll put you on the map. We'll pave a road, a normal road, only 7 lanes or so. And then we'll bury you alive. Tourists and their jive, motorboats, warm fur coats. Do you like my Winnebago?
And boy, what you could see out there was there were a lot of people that just needed to have closure, but I don't think it's closure. They just needed to relive something once again and let their families see what they were living.
You did a great job.
Thank you. I try.
Well done.
That sounded great.
Kevin killing it.
Jimmy killing it.
Thank you.
Tracy killing it.
Thank you.
Oh, so wonderful.
Yeah, that was great.
I remember one night we played this club, and by this time we had kind of accumulated an audience, and we started to have our group of people that was around us that would follow us from gig to gig, and we played this one club one night, and I remember we had 5 calls for an encore, which, like, if you play for in a band, I mean, 1 or 2 encores is great. I mean, it's flattering. 3 is you really killed it that night. But 5 encores, I mean, we would play a couple of songs, go backstage, wait, come back out, and it was just that quintessential thing of like hearing the feet hit the concrete, and they wouldn't let us leave. And I remember in the last encore, Keith I would usually be the second to last out. He would be the last out, and he stopped me and he said, "Now you remember this, because it was a moment." And that was, I'm thinking back, it was like 19 years ago, and I've never had 5 encores in any other band that I played with since.
We're ready to roll. Won't you be my lady? We'll start together in a private picture show. Private picture show. Woo! Private picture show. Private picture show. Private picture show. Yeah!
I wanted to know the bomb story.
I don't know the bomb story.
You don't know the bomb story.
Here's what I think happened. We were in Anchorage, Alaska, and it was the dead of winter, 1984. Our sound man called a rival club in the Anchorage area, in Spenard, and told them that there was a bomb in the place. Because somewhere around 11 o'clock at night, Chilkoot Charlie's just filled up. Because there was not a lot of choice in Anchorage, Alaska in the early 80s. And I think that's your bomb story you're looking for. I really do. I would say to everyone who's been involved in this weekend, and all of our friends and family who who helped put it together, because Christopher, I didn't do this alone. It was Deborah, it was Lori Mace, it was her husband Al, it was Vince, it was Michelle, it was Peter. It was an arm's length of people who are very loving and who got it and gave of themselves to stitch it together. And I just want to say to each one of them, thank you. And it was therapy, I think. And not just for Boggsy. It was therapy for a lot of folks. And it was, I know I've said this a lot of times, validation, but it wasn't a fluke. It wasn't